Rory. How are you?
Hi, George. How are you? Yes, very good.
Good. Excited to be chatting with you about this film and in general. I kind of want to start because this movie has a real connection to Scotland, and
Yeah.
you're Scottish, and so is and the director. And I talked to him a little bit to John about um,
Oh, good.
bringing Western samurai stuff into that space because nobody's really done that. And I'm curious how you felt about it and what it was like, and shooting there, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, it doesn't happen much for me to get a job in. I can't remember the last time I worked before in Scotland. It was years, it might be 10 years. And I'd worked with John before in another film. And yeah, and then I remember reading the script years ago, and it was doing the rounds a few years ago. He was probably trying to get the money together, and it was going to be set in Scotland, 1790, and it was going to be a samurai film. Wow, right. Well, that sounds interesting. Um, he's. I had such great fun on his film before called Slow West. That was in 2014, 15. I would say that's one of the. Oh, I just had such a great time with him and his crew and cast, but that was Scotland and New Zealand, and it was one of these ones that I would have done it. I would have. I should have just not read the script and said the answer is yes. And that's why the last time I saw John, I said, "Don't send me the script next time. I'll just do anything." So I'm into. I would like to just keep being in his films, even if it's just a tiny, tiny part. And I haven't got that big a part in this at all,
Yeah, that's
but I just
true. I
want to be
mean,
part of it. He's great fun, yeah, and I love the film. I knew I'd love it, and it stays with you. Yeah, I love the
that
music, and I love his music. I'm a real fan of the Beta Band. Have you heard of the Beta Band?
no, no, I
Well,
didn't.
you've got it. John is part of the.
Okay,
He's
I'll check it
he's one
out.
of the Beta Band. My God, they're fantastic. So I'll do anything to get a ticket to the Beta Band. They're just formed up again.
It's
So
it's
yeah,
it's really fun because he combines all these different aspects of kind of cinema because it's visually reminds you of the Kurosawa movies or the great westerns. And so I'm sure it's fun to just be in that space.
yeah.
Um, what's the vibe like on set? Because you talk about you just do anything and you had a great time, and I'm curious how you categorize the experience of making the movie.
Well, I mean, it was hard work. He had limit. We had limited time. We had a lot of shots to do every day. So there was no messing about. If we got it in one take, we're definitely moving on. And so there was no nonsense. He stripped it away. He stripped away a lot of the dialogue. I don't think anyone speaks until the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's very visual. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the way he is. He's an ex-arts college student kind of
Right.
thing. He's all visual. He brings out these cartoon. He just you can't even understand. He's not a very good artist. It's all stick men. He knows what's going on. He knows he can just see it in the head,
Yeah.
and probably hear the music at the time. He's just a lovely guy, and
Yeah.
but it's still good fun. We were just outside Edinburgh in Scotland, and some bright spark decided it'd be a good idea to rent an old pub and with rooms all there. So whenever we had time off, we just we had a really good time in that pub.
You and Tim Roth and
Oh my
Takahiro.
God, it was great. They even had a dance floor with different, with all the changing tiles and stuff back to the
Nice.
70s and stuff. It was really great. No, we had a laugh. I
That's
mean, it's
fun.
bloody freezing. We were halfway up a hill, yeah, up a mountain half the time. Nearly everything I was outside. I was the
Yeah.
only I was the only clown that didn't have a jacket for my costume. That didn't help. But it was
Um,
great. It was great. And I went back to Edinburgh most times and found a really good pub with really good Guinness, and I
Yeah.
put on quite a bit of weight during the shoots, but I got away with it.
I want to ask about a project that I imagine there's a similar, like, it's hard to tell what's going on, and also like very different in location, which, you've stepped into a role on the Star Wars series,
Oh
Ahsoka,
yeah,
and it's I know from what people I've spoken to, filming sometimes on those in those locations and with those all those digital elements is a different level of confusion, and you're there's so much weight you're carrying because taking over a role, and that is in and of itself a challenge, but I'm
that is
curious.
another level and another galaxy far, far away. I still am pinching myself. This is actually happening under not great circumstances. With Ray Stevenson passing, and hell of a big shoes to fill, but what a great honor! And I'm practicing with a lightsaber every night in my back garden. I can't believe it. I remember being a little boy in the queue for the Star Wars, the first one in 1978 or whenever it was. I remember it, and I can't believe I'm part of this.
Well, you
Yeah,
take it, you've worked with the sword before, right? So
that helps. It does help.
can you talk about
Yeah.
training, the difference between training and like, because you
No,
were
it's the
you
same. It's every single place I live in. I move about a lot, but every single place, my ceilings, I've got scratches or broken lights because I get the swords out, and even if it's lightsabers, there's scratches already, and it's terrible. I can't help it, especially after a couple of drinks. I'm away.
that is incredible. I can hey,
With the
because
sound effects on.
but certainly like you're with the Hound and the training, there's a lot of fighting. He was like one of the most brutal but also like powerful figures in that universe. And I
Yeah,
feel like that's probably the case with Balin to some
yeah.
extent. But do you have a different way you like carry it or train? Because you're like,
Oh yeah, yeah, but
yeah,
yeah. I'm not really allowed to talk about it much, but when Balin's character, you can see that already. It's more samurai. It's more balanced. It's not like this. It's not like the Hound that he's going to chop you in half. He moves around. He holds himself completely differently.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does the Hound stay with you? I mean, he's an icon of television.
Only before breakfast. I am the fucking Hound before breakfast, and then everything's okay.
I love it. I love it. What kind of movies, this movie is so different in a lot of ways for you, different kind of character, but like this movie is so unique. Just like Tornado
Yeah.
is such a unique movie. But are there things you just want to do really badly you haven't had a chance? I feel like you should be in comedy at some point because you're very funny. And yet and in the Hound you can see it.
I know. I haven't really done much comedy, although there was comedy in the Hound, I suppose.
Yeah.
There was Hot Fuzz.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's about it. Yeah, I would like more comedy, I suppose. Yeah. Hey, I sing and play. Maybe I could be doing a musical. I nearly did do a musical once, but I knackered my leg. Uh, Christmas Carol with I can't remember.
Yeah, what on stage?
No, it was a film with Will Ferrell and someone else, and I was going to be playing Bob Cratchit, and then I burst my knee. I
Oh,
would
really?
like, yeah, because I do sing and I don't dance. So
But you probably could, because if you've done this fight choreography stuff, right? It's the same
yeah,
idea, right?
I don't know. I'm an old burst warrior. I don't know if I move like a cat anymore. Just on the
Uh,
boat.
what are some of the memories you have on set with like working with Tim, for example?
Well, yeah, I didn't know how he was going to be like. I mean, I remember going to his directorial debut somewhere and question and answers, and I crashed a party, and I managed to meet him when I was a young guy. And, hi, Mr. Roth. and then suddenly I'm working with them.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it would be like. And it was fantastic because we had many storms and stuff where you had to stay in a tent until the rain went by and start shooting. He would sit down and quite happily tell you stories about working with Tarantino and who is a bastard and who's this and fantastic. This and all the other actors just shut their mouths and going, yeah, yeah. And what was it like working with that? And, oh my god! So yeah, he was great stories, just what we
Yeah.
wanted.
I bet. I bet. Well, I have to wrap, but I want to. You tell great stories. This was really fun. Thank you for taking the time to chat, and congrats on the movie and on being in Star Wars and everything. Hope to see a lot more of you in general.